Hi there, it's Carl Irwin, the Common Magician, and this will be kind of a different video. Take some time here, as much time as I can. I'm not really going to do magic. Maybe a trick will show up somewhere. I don't know. We'll see. But I've been quite under the weather lately, over the past week or so, so I haven't created much. I was on vacation, made a couple videos while I was away, visiting family up in New England, and then partway through that vacation time, I got quite sick, as did the other members of my family. I was the last one to come down with it, some kind of a respiratory infection, and not COVID, not RSV, not the flu. All those tests were negative, but I got something bad, and so I've got kind of a when I breathe, particularly at night, it sounds like raking gravel. So I don't really have it in me to do kind of a routine here to talk about some things. I do have some things to talk about in the future. One topic that came up on one of the last videos was gimmicked coins, particularly folding bite out coins, and replacement banding for those. And one solution that I have that I've adopted from Tango Magic, and a type of coin that they make, and a way that you can kind of do this DIY with the folding coins that you have. So we'll look at that. Still looking at Anneman's 202 methods of forcing, and some forces that I want to look at. One of them actually came up on a Sean Devine video earlier today, so I have that kind of in mind in the future here. But one popular thing on these magic channels, YouTube channels, is the topic of deck collections. So collections of playing cards, playing card collections. And I don't collect playing cards at all. I have, I guess, some that are kind of collectors type playing cards, but I don't really go out and buy designs to collect. I buy cards to use, and when I use them, they get repurposed if they're still able for gaffs, or they get pitched and thrown away. That has led me lately to look into the 100% plastic playing card market, which is a pretty good market these days. I think World Series of Poker now uses 100% plastic playing cards. I want to say they use Copag playing cards. Bicycle also has, US Playing Card Company also has their own 100% plastic playing cards. We're going to look at some of that. But I want to show you what I use. These are the cards that I use, the types that you've seen on the channel before, cards that I've employed in videos before, things that I carry around with me if I carry cards with me. Maybe we'll look at some gaff decks as well that I have and have kept for some time. So this is not a collection. I don't have boxes and boxes of collector's items. These are just the cards that I use. I have probably enough playing cards to fit in a briefcase and a half at any one time. It's not a lot, particularly since I've been using plastic playing cards. I've had to buy fewer and fewer because the plastic playing cards, they keep up for a long time. So first and foremost, what kind of playing cards are must-haves for me? If I could only have one type of playing card, what is it that I would want to have access to? For me, it's far and away B playing cards. So B Club Special. These are the number 92s, Club Special. Blue and red. I favor red almost all the time with playing cards, although I do like the darker color, the blue. The red kind of hides a little bit more in terms of flashing. If you have a reverse kind of card situation, the red kind of blends in with the white a little bit better than the blue. So Club Special, B playing cards. If I could only have one kind of playing card ever, I would pick B playing cards. So that's one, and I always have several decks of fresh B playing cards, and again, once they get worn out, discolored, whatever, I usually throw them out, or if they are not too far gone, I can repurpose them for some gaffs, which I don't make too many gaffs, but I can do that. Number two, if I could only have two types of playing cards, no secret, would be Bicycle. So Bicycle standard rider back playing cards. I actually found these, actually says rider back, and it has the back design on the back of the card. I found these in red, at a Big Lots store near me, which is an overstock store. A few years ago, they had just a rack full of this rider back printed playing cards. I did notice as I looked at the back design, I think on some of them it was, and bicycle cards are like this, the printing was slightly skewed to one side, so the margin was a little bit bigger on one side than the other. So these might have been seconds that went off the line and were then put out to market at a cheaper rate, which is why they've got to overstock, and they were affordable. They were quite affordable. It's like $3 for a deck, which is a little under the typical market value right now. So, but rider back, red and blue. I favor red for the same reasons I favor the red V's, but I do like the blue. Sometimes I'll get the 4-pack in black, and I'll talk about the black back playing cards here in a minute, because there's something that I have experimented with recently regarding the black boxes, the box that comes with the black deck. But anyway, if I have to have playing cards, it's going to be these two brands above anything else. So no big surprise there. But that has led me in a direction that I want to talk about. I'm going to set this one aside for a moment. This particular blue back deck is kind of special. That has led me to this situation where lately I've been doing all plastic. So these are Bicycle Prestige playing cards. They had a particular kind of back design for a long time, and now you can get these in rider back. The rider back come off and on the market every now and then. Right now they're on, and you can get them in various places. So I keep several of these. They're going to last a long time. These are specially marked decks, and if you look inside, they're in a box. I had to make these boxes because they don't come with a regular box. They come with this kind of a special box, which I find annoying. I like to have a box that I can put cards in. And the one thing that I realized was that the black bicycle box for the black back playing cards is a really nice neutral, where it could be red or it could be blue playing cards inside the box, because it doesn't really give away color. The box design is all black, and so that I could have them in either one, and I could just use, have a couple of these boxes that are laminated. So I laminated these and then cut them out, printed and laminated, cut them out, and glued them together. And these will last for a long time. I discovered that these last a long time because I did it with my Copags. I made some Copag boxes, and these are keeping up remarkably well, even better than some of the sturdy cardboard boxes you can get at like Penguin Magic from the prop stores. Excuse me. So what I did is I made a box that has the black bicycle on the front design. It's a standard, and on the back. So it doesn't have the back design at all. It's just bicycle on both sides. It's a nice generic bicycle box that I can put my prestige cards in. It keeps them nice and safe, and I don't have to carry them around in this. So I keep two of these decks. I've got a red and a blue one, and these are special. They are the prestige cards, but these are actually set for the common stack with my indexing principles in play, which you can purchase at penguin.com, the common stack. So this is the simplified version of the common stack, and I can use this deck to acquire any called out card very quickly, and I can do a number of effects using the stack, but I just keep them in stack. Again, they have some indexing principles applied to them where some of the cards are altered in a minor way, such that nobody would know if they were just to examine the cards, but it makes a difference for me, and I would be able to identify them. So I've got one for red, one for blue. I just sit in stack and sit in here in these boxes, and then I can always come to them, and I've marked them C for common stack on the bottom. So I keep those, and then I also have some just plain regular Bicycle Prestige where there's no alterations to them. That way I can do just regular card magic with these cards, and they're all 100% plastic. So I also repurposed some boxes from regular decks. I didn't print these ones. These are just regular boxes, and I keep one for the blue cards and one for the red cards. And you can see here they just handle very well. They Prestige cards don't have a linen finish on the back. They're flat, but they are very smooth. I do find that the plastic playing cards, though, after you handle them for a while, something about the change in temperature or whatever, they do start to stick a little bit. And you have to kind of let them sit and really dry out in a dry place, and then they will fan better after that. But anyway, Prestige playing cards. So blue and a red deck that are just completely normal. There's nothing special about these that I can use for regular card magic. Also on the line of plastic playing cards, I got, these are my first decks of Copag playing cards. This came in a set, black and gold, and I made boxes for these, which I think I did a video on that a while back. Same kind of laminating process I used to make the other boxes. And I found that these came kind of weird. The corners were really blocky, which I found a lot with Cartamundi playing cards. These Copags had that kind of sharp edge that was inconsistent. So I used a corner round, and I went to the next size bigger just on these decks, and I rounded them. And they handle a little bit better, but they're not original factory. So they're a little bit more, slightly more blunted. You wouldn't know it to look at them. But if you were to compare these to a regular bicycle playing card, you would see a very slight variance on that corner. I don't know if you can really see it there or not, but I did alter these a little bit, and these also have some of the indexing principles that I use for my common stack. This is not in stack, but it has those indexing concepts that I use for that, so that I can acquire cards quickly. So gold and black, both of them are prepared in that way. I have a blue and a red deck as well. These were much cleaner on the corners. I did not alter these at all. Also have the indexing scheme. I use a slightly different key card. I like double thick cards, but these are shorts. So I have a short key, and it's short, long, and wide, and it's one of the jokers, so that I can, if I want to put this in stack, I can still click to that to kind of recycle back around. So blue and red. These sort of replace the bicycle kind of style of card. It's a bordered card with a classic sort of looking design, and this is what I've been using when I'm not using bicycle playing cards or the Prestige playing cards. I really do favor these. I like to carry these around if I carry anything. These have been kind of it lately. In addition to that, I have some other Copag designs. This is a different design, a little bit more like a design that we'll look at later on, some of the more classic designs like Arco, or the old Maverick design. It's a little bit more ornate on the back, a little bit more fine detail. I have a gold and a black deck like this as well. Also has the indexing principles applied to it, so that I can stack these. Otherwise, again, these cards are normal. I mean, you can do normal things with these. There's really nothing out of the ordinary with them, save for a key and then some other alterations I've made to them that otherwise would not be noticed by anybody. You could play a poker game with these and wouldn't really matter. But I really like these Copags, and especially this design is just very, very classic. So black and gold in this design. I might buy some red and blue ones eventually, because it does look a lot like the Arco kind of pattern that I really, really like. And I'll get to those in a minute. And then I have two more Copags. So this is a blue and a red deck. And this is like, I also made a cut card so that I can use, so just a vinyl card that's been cut and rounded as a cut card that I keep in here. These are Jumbo Index, which I never liked Jumbo Index. It's kind of grown on me lately, especially doing the YouTube stuff, because you can see them really easily on camera. So there is that benefit. Also, a lot of true in-use poker decks are larger index in the casinos and whatnot. So a lot of casino cards will have a larger index to them. These are nice because they're the B. They look a lot like the B diamond pattern. It's not that pattern. It's a different kind of basket weave pattern. But these stand in really well for those B cards. So if I want to do kind of a table gambling routine sorts of Magic, and I want to use the all plastic playing cards. These are the go-tos for that. Very much like the B sort of aesthetic. So I've got this in blue and red. For these, I purchased some prop boxes. These boxes are sold at Penguin. Prop Dog, I think, is the name of the company. I can't remember, but it's a slightly oversized box. It's slightly oversized in that you could take a regular box and put it inside of these, and it would protect them. So it's really good if you're storing away collector's boxes. This is a kind of a good $2 or $3 a box sort of purchase. I bought these for these cards. I put a little ornate sticker on the top with the right color so I can tell what they are from the outside. Bear with me as I slowly die. I'll talk briefly here before we go into the other cards about gimmicked decks. So I have some gimmick decks that I've kept for a long time, and I don't use them very often, but I do have them. This is the Galdini Card Ascend, or the Rising Card, which I paid, well, probably my parents paid $18 for back in the early 90s when I was young, probably in junior high. And it's a bicycle deck, and the prop doesn't work that well anymore, but I still keep it. I could probably rejuvenate it. Honestly, there's better ways to do a rising card. There were back then, but this is a gimmicked deck that allows you to do rising card. Essentially, they can freely choose a card, and then it goes back into the deck, and you could, under the premise, you could set it in like a glass and let it sit there, and the card will rise all by itself. Really, really clever kind of counterweight sort of gimmick. It's just how these work if you're familiar with them. So I have that. Another one, a classic, and this is just ancient. It's like it's brown on the edges. It's so old. You know this. This is the what they call it, the Deland's automatic cards. So this is this is a stripper deck, and I really only ever used it for that purpose. For the stripper kind of thing, but it's got a marking system on the back, so it's kind of a mechanized deck. You could call it a mechanical deck, where you could stack it and it would tell you a lot of information, not just what card you're at, but also some more information about it if you took the time to learn the code. No kid ever did. They just used the stripper deck side of it, and I still have this just kind of for sentimental value. Did a lot of magic with this, doing stripper deck magic back in the day. So that is, again, vintage early 90s. And then I have Royal playing cards. This is a classic effect. See if I can get them out. Stuck on the tabs. This is the chopped deck. So it's a deck that's been cut corner to corner. There's a premise there where someone can select one side and someone else can select from another side shuffled up, and they match. And you can guess how that's done. So classic kind of stage card magic. You know, this cannot be inspected by any stretch of the imagination, but it was a really great trick for a young kid that was doing, you know, a few shows, talent shows here and there, and I was able to employ that along with my rising card and my stripper deck. And you know, the question is, why do you keep using different decks for all these tricks? I don't know. So anyway, there's that. I have also a little bit more up to date. This is a deck I keep for Sam the Bellhop. Haven't done it in a long time, but I have my own order and story for Sam the Bellhop. I never liked how the kind of original story, or the one that's become most famous by, what's his name, Bill. His name escapes me. I've got brain fog, but this is my own. I don't like how on the most known version you kind of end with a high poker hand, but it's not the best one. I wanted to end with a royal, flush, and spades. In order to do that, you have to take cards away from the rest of the story. So I came up with my own story that tracks really well through. It might even be on the channel somewhere. You might find it. I re-scripted it out and told it and did it again. But I keep this. It does have a special card in it that I use for my version that I got to have. It's a card that says thanks on it. So I have that in there. It's just a little gag. And I incorporate the jokers into mine. So I just keep a deck that has that, and I keep it nice and boxed up so that they stay nice, and I don't mess with this deck. If I ever need to do Sam the Bellhop, which probably will never happen again, I can grab this one and take it out and do it. I also have an invisible deck. Got to have an invisible deck. So this is an invisible deck. I order mine a little differently than some. I do mine with evens on one side, odds on the other. And this is a homemade invisible deck. This is one that I made. There is a debate about what is best. Is it best to make your own gimmicks, or is it best to purchase them from the professionals? I think it depends on who you are. If you're me, it's best to make your own, because not to toot my own horn, but I make good gimmicks. When I make something, I do it right, I do it carefully, and I make sure that whatever I'm creating is going to be better than what they're selling, you know, better than what someone's trying to mass produce. So I made my own invisible deck, and this was using kind of the old school aerosol hairspray method. I made this probably 10 or 15 years ago, actually, I think. If I've been living in this house more than that, it's been about 18 years, I think. And it is in great shape. It's in great shape using that method. So aerosol hairspray is a kind of a classic way of doing the rough smooth, and that's how I did this deck. And I have my own order so that I don't have to think quite as hard to do it. Don't use it very much, but I have this. So you can make your own gaffs. Speaking of homemade gaffs, I have another one. This is stripper decks. I did a tutorial on stripper decks a while back. This is not blue, it's actually black. I repurposed a blue box for this black deck, but this is a one-side shave stripper deck and corner rounded to remedy that corner. And then, and this might even be marked. These are marked as well. I can't remember my marking system on that, but these are marked. And then this is a two-sided shaved stripper deck. And these are homemade. And I challenge anyone to look at these squared up and find any discrepancies with them. So you can do this stuff yourself and do a bang-up job with it without having extremely special equipment. This was one that I made following the procedure that I discussed in my tutorial, with one thing I don't talk about. After I had made a number of those decks, I did eventually purchase a corner round. If you're going to do some gaffing, I highly recommend you have a corner round. This is a kind of a popular generic corner round, and it has a small, medium, and large. The small one is almost perfect to the corner round on regulation playing cards, like a 3mm round. So you can shave these and then corner round using the small side. The medium one is the one that I used for my Copags to fix those rounds. I've also used that on some other cards I'm going to look at here in a minute. But these are done using this method and a paper crafting paper cutter. I have some tape on there for some normal playing card sizes, but I use the jig method that I talk about in that video, did it on here. If you take your time, and you're careful and you do it right, and you line everything up carefully, you can go card by card and do a whole deck shaved, and nobody. If I gave this to a magician, the only way they're going to know that this is a stripper deck is if they reverse a card in it. There's nothing about this that would be apparent. It doesn't matter how much you shuffle them. Okay, so you can do gaffing on your own that surpasses what you get from the store, It depends on who you are and what your confidence level is. I put it this way. You can have anything you want. You just have to want it bad enough. If you want to do a really good job, you'll find a way to do a really good job. Take the time to do it. And understand that there's some trial and error, and you'll goof up a few things, and then you'll learn from that. So anyway, stripper decks. Hardly ever use them, but I do have a couple here. And marked decks as well. Let's see, what else do I have? This is a terrible trick. This is a terrible trick. I made this. If you, from same time frame, around when I did my Sam the Bellhop rewrite, there was a venue online called Magic Video Depot. Magic Video Depot. It was what it was. It was kind of pre-YouTube. YouTube was just kind of getting started, and you could upload magic videos, performances, not tutorials, but performances only. And they had competitions, you know, and I would submit, and my Sam the Bellhop won one time. I did a couple things, won some competitions. They'd give you some cash value or gift cards for Illusionist or Penguin or whatever back then. So I bought some magic off of that, and I posted somewhat faithfully back in the day. And this is a trick I made for that. It's kind of browned now, but this has to be a gimmick deck. It's not that great of a trick. It really isn't. It's a pretty terrible trick. But the idea here is that we need some random cards here. We need the jokers, and we need a few cards. So what I do is I just find the jokers and then any cards that are between them. So we got these here. It's bad when it's too many. This isn't too many. I think we're okay. So it's about like nine or 10 cards there. So what we're going to do is I've got the jokers, and between the jokers I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards. 9 cards, okay? And I want you to look, think of one that you see, put it in your head. You've got it in your head, okay? And what we're going to do is I'm going to mix these up, take the jokers out, lay them face up here. I'm going to mix these up. Hopefully I don't mess this up. I kind of lost my bearings here. I'm going to take one card out. This is the weirdest trick ever. I am not going to guess what your card is. Nobody is going to say what your card is at all, at any time in this trick. I don't know what your card is. I don't. I just removed one. I'm not going to show it to you. I'm not going to confirm a thing. Not at all. All I can say is that I don't know what it is, you know what it is, and the jokers know what it is. So it's a confirmation on your card being removed. Terrible trick. It's an old idea that I made a deck for, so that you can do it with this deck of cards. Really cheaply, poorly made gaffs. We'll talk about gaffs here in a minute as well, more gaffs. But anyway, that's a deck that I figured I would show you just for kicks. I have another way of doing this kind of a trick that I actually presented not too long ago on the channel that is way better using a regular shuffled deck of cards. Same premise to it, though. Here's another deck. This is a blue deck that I had earlier. Excuse me. And this is actually a gimmick deck. I marked this as the Mark Paul deck. I'm not going to take this out and show it to you. I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm just going to tell you, if you want to find a way to do a whole routine of just deadly card magic, impossible revelations from thought of cards, like David Berglas style routine, 20 minutes of card magic, if you take your time, including the David Berglas level, any card at any number, the Berglas effect. If that is something you're interested in and you want to kind of sell your soul on your card magic, you want a Mark Paul deck. This is not originally his idea. He credits a number of other people for the creation of this. He also credits David Berglas himself, because his inspiration was from David Berglass's style of card magic, which is somewhat controversial for card magicians. If you've read his books on card, he has a couple books that he's written, co-authored with some people. Benjamin Britland did one, and I can't remember who did the other one, the Berglass effects. But he talks about his card magic at depth in there, and it's very different. It's very different from the kind of card magic that you're used to. He doesn't use sleights like we typically think about, not very many anyway. It takes a lot of investment. Anyway, Mark Paul, and he talks about this in his Vanishing Ink Masterclass. So that's where you can get this, Vanishing Ink Masterclass. He talks at depth about this and goes through all of the possibilities. I made my own. I haven't used it. I took this with me on vacation over the summer. And with my family, I did a number of the effects with it. And it worked great. I mean, it worked really great. But part of me thought, you know what? I can do this with my own cards and my own methods. I don't really need to do this, because you really do have to sell your soul to do this. Mark Paul, what he's saying is he took the premise of Berglass's card magic and his methods, and he made it accessible to real people. So that's what he did. He came up with a way to do this with a kind of prepared deck. And it's just brilliant use of the concepts. And literally, they can think of a card and nobody knows what it is. They can think of a number and nobody knows what it is until the time when you count through the cards. And someone else can count through the cards. You can manage the situation well with this idea that you just you just get there. Now, are there going to be things that you have to trade off that some people will be upset about? Probably, but it's not a lot. It's not a lot. Not a lot of trade-off to do this, except for the fact that you have to give up all the other kind of card magic that you do, and you have to invest only in this. So, anyway, I just want to mention that and plug the idea. I think I've talked about it before with respect to my own stack, in ways in which you can apply some of the concepts that I saw from this. So anyway, Mark Paul deck, I have one of those that I hang on to, and I've used a little bit, but not much. Probably won't invest much time into that again, but I have it. This is a gaff card deck. These are all my own. I have a very special relationship with the double thick card. So I discovered the concept and the use of a double thick card by accident before I found it in print in a number of places, one of them being Animan. And the way I found it by accident was by making some kind of what I call poor man's gaffs, where if you needed a double backer, you just took two cards and you glued them together face to face, right? Now, normally, if you wanted to make a professional quality double backer, you would split the cards and then glue them together to fix them so that it would be the proper thickness. But I thought about that. In a world where we do magic, where we try to do a double lift and turnover and pass off two cards as one that are not fixed together, and we do this so regularly, why in the world would it matter if you actually had two cards glued together? You know what I mean? So these are all gaffs that are formulated from mostly just gluing parts together, not from splitting cards. There might be a couple split cards in here. There are a couple split cards. I'll talk about them, but let me just run through these real quick. Double backer, red, bicycle, mostly bicycle. There's going to be some B and bicycle in here. And it can be used as a double thick key as well. Double back, blue and red. Double thick, double black, blue, double thick. 4 aces, double face for McDonald's aces. So keep those, and you can use them with any color because they're double facers. Double thick aces blue as double thick cards, using the double thick principle for the aces. So when you do this, you remove 4 aces and then 4 indifferent cards, so you'd have the right thickness for the deck. But I keep those as well. I love double thick cards. I love them. Double thick red aces. Double thick 8 of diamonds in blue. Double thick in red. So this would be like a key card or force card. Double thick joker in red and blue. And these are quite usable with the prestige cards. Just because they're linen finish and they're paper, you can still mix these in, right? The sheen is certainly close enough, particularly on social media, but even for live performance, you can do that. So these are good even with the prestige cards. I've thought about buying a couple of prestige decks and making gaffs, double thick gaffs, using those, because you can do that as well. This is these are aces with a 2 in the pip. So they're aces on one corner, but then they're 2s on the other pip. So you could potentially fan these out in a spread, and they can stand in for aces. You could have duplicates that stand in. Double thick 5 of hearts in blue B. Double thick double backer. No, this is a regular double backer. This is a split card double backer, red B. Split card double backer, red and blue B. Hofzinser cards. I talked about these a long time ago. They're blank on the face, red on the back. You got to do this with red. Blue is too dark for it. But they're a Hofzinser Revelation card. I can keep these in the deck, and they're good for 4 revelations. I think it's the 4 queens. So if I put these up to the light, you can see Queen of Clubs shines through, right? And if I go from the opposite corner, Queen of Spades shines through. You should be able to see that on the camera. And then on this one, red's a little harder, but it does show up. Queen of Diamonds. Queen of Hearts. So I have some Hofzinser cards that I keep for the red B deck. These are very useful for some special things. Then I also have just 4 vinyl cards. These are vinyl plastic. It's very shiny on one side and then more of a matte finish on the other. This is vinyl roofing material, so it's used for like the just below the drip edge, above the soffit, right? If you on a house, it comes in a roll, and I cut them, and they're about the thickness of a card. These are great, not as blanks, but to write on, right? So if you want to do a trick where you need to write on a card, rather than use a Sharpie, use dry erase. So, rather, a wet erase. This is a wet erase marker. So you can write a name on it or write directions on it or something like that, and use these. You could even use them just as mentalism billets. I have a reflection device in my wallet, so I could use these and write something on it, stick it in there, and then get a peek off of it. So I have a peek wallet. That's that. And then you've seen this lately, but a mirror card. So it's mirrored on one side. And then this can be used in a lot of different ways to disguise cards in a glass or what have you. And then also, I just keep in here something I covered recently. This is an Amazon gift card. I actually mocked this card up so I could make it the way I wanted to. I didn't have to buy a card or keep one. So there's a mock-up of an Amazon card, and it looks legit all the way around, but it's actually a force for the 3 of spades that I can force from a, it's the Joker force, right? But it's on a gift card. So used it a little bit, used it on the channel. And I keep all this together. It comes out to about the size of a deck. And I keep this clamped usually because all those double thick cards can warp if they're left kind of to their own agency and the change of humidity and whatnot. So that's plastic playing cards and classic bicycle and B cards. And where are we at here? We've got about 40 minutes in. Let's keep going. Why not? I'm feeling okay. I've got Arco Stud Aviator. Love these cards. I love aviator cards, even though they are a matte finish. Whenever I see them, they're affordable. I love the design. It's classic. I always have these at the grocery store. Tops in New York State. Tops grocery store. And I can get these there relatively inexpensive. Still made in the United States of America at Erlanger, Kentucky, at a U.S. playing card company. Also printed occasionally. I love these designs, but they are printed occasionally, so you have to wait for printings to come out. Arco playing cards. Love this back design. It is just beautiful. It's ornate. Very similar kind of design to these Copag cards over here. That's why I like the Copags, is that it kind of gives me this sort of look. But these are just beautiful looking cards that are not bicycle. They're just a classic kind of design. I love classic designs. I don't like the new retro hipster kinds of designs. No offense out there. I don't like, it's not me. It does not match my style. I don't do cardistry or anything. I love classic designs. So whenever I can find Arcos, I get them. I asked for Christmas from my father. He said, what do you want? I said, you know what? I found these on eBay. He said they were out of print, but they're brand new. Get me a brick of blue and red. So he got me these, and I've been opening them slowly over the last several years. But anyway, that's Arco. They come with a blank gaff. So double side blank and a blank face. You can get those. Stud playing cards. These were printed for Walgreens Pharmacy a while back. That printing has run through. I don't think you can get these very easily anymore. But again, the back design is just beautiful. It's, it's got kind of a, I don't know, sort of I don't know, I would say kind of an ethnic sort of printing to it. It's got an Aztec-y kind of design. I don't know any way to describe it, but it's just a really, really crisp, clear design. It's not quite as ornate, not nearly as ornate as the bicycles or the Arco back, but it is a classic looking design. I just love the look of these cards. So I've grabbed several decks of these whenever I found them at a Walgreens a few years ago, and I try to use them sparingly so that I don't use them up. But love these. If I couldn't have bees or bicycles, these are favorites of mine to play these in the aviators. So that's that. I am not a collector. I am not a deck collector, but I do have some collector decks. So these are the limited collector kinds of decks. This is what I would categorize as quality playing cards. This is a double backer that I made for this type of bicycle print, which I don't know if you can still get or not. This is one that's not opened yet, but I've got this in black and blue and red, and this was a split double backer. I made this one, and love this design. This is very, very pretty kind of design. Again, looks very classic, but it's kind of a mock-up of a classic look. They did those, and around the same time they were making these as well. So I have a deck of reds of these. They put kind of the postage stamp seal on it. Very pretty design. So whenever I see cards like this that are in that classic vein, I'll grab these. So not so much for the Theory 11 kind of prints, but more like these classic designs. Getting a little further away from that, I saw these and I thought they were really pretty, so I grabbed these a while back. A little bit on the edge for me. It's got a little bit more of a contemporary look to it, but very pretty. Murales was the name on it. So bicycle print I thought looked really nice, and it came with a double backer. So they definitely have magicians in mind with some of these prints. Places to get these prints besides buying them online: drugstores, Walgreens, CVS. Drugstores tend to carry these. Walmart also carries a number of interesting prints. They tend to go more towards the Theory 11 kind of stuff like this, actually. This is Star Wars. This was gifted to me last year at Christmas time. My kids got this for me. So Star Wars print playing cards, and I don't use them for anything. I don't want to ruin them, so I just kind of keep them up on the shelf. But very pretty. It's got Star Wars characters on there. So I don't collect, but I have some collector boxes. Just a few. And Monarchs and Citizens. Love these. These are very nice. As far as Theory 11 goes, this is about as far as I go. I like these Theory 11 prints, the classic kinds of designs that look very, very classy. You know these Monarchs. Blue, they make them in red. Probably other permutations now too. Citizens. These have a little bit of a sheen to them, kind of a foil sheen to the back. Very, very nice, classic, sort of mysterious design. So, again, Christmas presents kind of stuff, you know. I think I commented on it once at a Target. I said, oh, they have Theory 11 cards here. My wife went back based on that comment and grabbed a few of them, and they showed up in my stocking at Christmas time. So I have a few of those. Other cards that I've bothered to buy that are not necessarily great cards, but they're good enough cards. These are Cartamundi. Cartamundi makes good cards. They do make good cards. These are not their best cards, but they do make good ones. These were their casino cards, casino quality. The corners are goofy. Again, this was at a time when their corners were not cut exactly perfectly, so I re-rounded all of these using my corner round. Actually, I think I was able to get these through. They were so sharp that the 3mm round actually resolved all of these. So Blackjack brand playing cards. They're very casino looking. And they do have a linen finish on them. They have a large index. These are fun. They're fun to bring out every now and then. They're starting to wear in a little bit. They're a little thick. They're kind of stiff. A little bit thicker than the USP, United States Playing Card Company cards. But I've got a black one, a couple of red ones. They've got a nice print of a 10 of diamonds in the back, good for a box reveal if you ever wanted to use these. So every now and then I'll see these at Dollar General is where these showed up. I don't know if they're still printing these or not, but they're not bad. They're not bad. You can do card magic with these. They're a little thicker, so a little trickier for the bottom deal kind of stuff, but they're good enough cards. Another good enough playing card is the Ace playing card. And again, 10 of diamonds, Cartamundi as well. This would be their version of bicycle. So this is kind of the Cartamundi variation of the bicycle playing card. Very common in the United States, particularly at toy stores and dollar stores. They're not too cheap. They're a few bucks, but they do have a linen embossed finish on them. It's not as nice as the bicycle linen embossed finish, but they're not bad. They're a little thicker too, so I think I had to corner around these as well, because again, the Cartamundi cards at that time were not very rounded. They were a little unpredictable. So they're good enough cards. Some other cards that were good enough. You can't really get these anymore. You might recognize the brand, Vegas brand. You'll find this at Walmart. They used to print these on paper in the United States. Missouri. Oh no, these are printed in China, but their standards were better, that's for sure. These were printed on paper. They have a linen finish, a really good linen finish too. It's kind of a tighter weave to it. A little bit thicker, kind of like the Cartamundi cards, but man, is the cut clean all the way around. I don't know that you could really, these are old, this isn't going to be fair anyway. I don't know that you could really do a, I think if I Pharaoh these too much, it'll ruin them. So you can't really do Pharaoh. But they're good kind of casino looking card. Vegas brand. Now, you will still find this brand. These are old. Blue and a red one. These are the two that I have remaining. I used to buy a few of these at a time because they were decent cards. If you find these now, you will get this. And this is still in the cellophane. I saw these recently. Still embossed. But when you look at these, I don't want to open that up. What's in here? There you go. They don't come with boxes, too. They just come in cellophane in a kind of a big box. They're really spongy and thin and cheap. You can almost see through the white into the black glue layer. They're terrible. These are really terrible. I mean, you can do stuff with them. If you're a good card magician, you can use anything. Okay, but these are not good. These are not as good as the old ones. So the quality control really tanked on that brand. And it's not Cartamundi, and it certainly isn't U.S. Playing Card Company. It is. Let's see. Here's it. Harbro was the name of the company. So card company Harbro. Anyway, Vegas playing cards. Good enough. The old ones were. The new ones are kind of junky. Some more good enough cards. These are not good enough. These are terrible. Maverick playing cards. These are printed. This is Hoyle, which is United States Playing Card Company. It says Cincinnati, Ohio, for the Family Dollar, made in China. These are Chinese prints, and these are not good. These are terrible. They're a smooth finish. That's not really what's terrible about them. They're thicker. They're really thick and spongy. They wear down very fast. They warp very easily. Maverick playing cards. You will find these in dollar stores all over the country. However, if you look close enough, sometimes at the box stores like Walmart, you will also find Maverick playing cards, and they're not the same print. They're a different print. These were printed in Kentucky. And you know you get the right ones, I found, if they have French on them. So they're Canadian imports from the United States, and up in New York, in New England, where I frequent, you'll find these. And these are the same level as, where'd they go? These are on the same level as Aviator. So if you can find these are just like Aviator prints, but they're Maverick back design. And same thickness. They're really, really nice cards. They're the smooth finish playing cards. But boy, they're really good. So whenever I find these, because I like the back design, it's a really nice classic. Again, I love classic. Classic is good. So classic Maverick playing cards. Look for these prints. Canadian import prints are the better ones. The Chinese prints for the dollar stores are pretty low quality. This is an old deck of Maverick playing cards. This is when they were still being printed in Cincinnati. And the story behind this deck, this is old. I was in Drum and Bugle Corps. If you know anything about that subculture, I marched with the Bluecoats Drum and Bugle Corps, world-class Drum and Bugle Corps from Ohio, back 20-some years ago. And I tell the story in my ACAN book. It was supposed to be talent night on the bus. We were traveling between shows, and I said, well, okay, I'll do something. So the first gas station we stopped at to gas up, I quickly ran in. This was the only deck of cards in the whole place. I bought it right there, and then I did a trick for the bus, and I won the show. So it was a slop shuffle triumph, magician gets it wrong, and then a reveal from a note in my wallet. I had written down a prediction from earlier, so that was the gag. And I just kind of threw the routine together right then and there, and it really got me back into magic that moment. Just doing that. I hadn't been doing magic for quite some time. All the way through college, I really didn't do much of any, but I did that night, and that's kind of brought me back to where we're at now. So I kept this deck of cards. This is a $1.49 for this deck of playing cards. This was a good print, good brand at that time. Maverick was still being printed in Cincinnati. So there's another plastic coated finished cheapo deck. I keep this because it's thin. They're really thin. Monte Carlo. Don't have a clue where I picked these up, but it's got an interesting back design. It's got like little asterisks all over it, and they handle really well. I don't understand why these have kept up as well as they have, because they're really cheap paper. But they look good. They look good on the front and the back. Every now and then you might see these show up on a video on the channel. But they've lasted a long time. They're cut really well. I don't think they ferro really well. But I don't have a clue where I got these and how they showed up. I probably just grabbed them one time. Brentwood, New York is where they were printed. So these were just some kind of off-brand. The thickness is just right on these. Just sometimes you just find something that works well enough. So, and then last but not least, cards I just have. Coca-Cola, United States Playing Card Company. It's Old Blue Seal. Yeah, these were just a novelty deck that I got. I don't remember where I got these. I might have gotten these on a European trip when I was in high school. Printed in Cincinnati. This is on the smooth stock. They're so old. But look at that. I can't get these Copags to do this, 100% of the time. So they just really knew how to make them. They've turned yellow. I mean, they're yellow on the end. But Coca-Cola brand, they're symmetrical, two-way deck. I think there might be a couple of creased cards in there. But anyway, I keep this one every now and then. You might see this show up on the channel. I might choose to just do a trick with these. So I just have those. Don't know where I got these purple bicycles. They're bicycles but purple. And every now and then, I just bought these a couple weeks ago. Every now and then, I'll go to Dollar Store, Family Dollar, Dollar General, and buy casino cards. So I liked it when casino cards, they used to put a hole through them. I thought that was always better. Now they cut the corner off, and they don't do it even consistently. So, I mean, it is what it is. They're still good playing cards. But you can see the difference between casino cards and regular cards. See how big the numbers are. And they're not even lined up right. You'll notice that the court cards are in a different alignment as well as the aces from the number cards and the tens. The tens sit higher than everything else. So these are from the Flamingo. These are from the Plaza. So every now and then I'll get those and just use them for fun on the channel or on Instagram. I'll do a trick using these cards, but I'm not a collector. If I see it and it's an impulse buy and I don't care adding $1 to my purchase, I might grab some of those kinds of cards, and then they'll sit on a shelf and I won't use them at all. So anyway, those are my cards. That's what I have. Not a collector. I don't have a lot. Really been favoring the plastic coated cards or plastic, 100% plastic cards lately. You've been seeing these a lot on the channel, these Copags, and also the Prestige bicycles that now are printed consistently in rider back. So I wish they do B. That'd be great if they did, a club special print in 100% plastic. Maybe they do, and I just don't know about it. If you know about something like that, put it in the comment section and give me a link, because I would definitely buy those. But when I'm not using B and I want the aesthetics of the B, I use these Copags. Really kind of good mock-up of that same. One thing about these too, I had said some time ago that these Copags don't ferro. They ferro like junk. I spoke too soon. They ferro brilliantly. You just have to get used to it. You just have, that's perfect. Bang on, right? You just have to do it a few times and then kind of get, it's knacky. And they do ferro from both sides pretty well. So, yeah, plastic playing cards and ferroing, you definitely can do it. You just have to be patient, get the knack. They're a little different from paper. And because they're 100% plastic, they won't really wear down very easily from doing ferroing. So, really great for really any kind of card magic. Again, they do stick a little. They do get a little sticky. I don't know what it is about them, but they do start to, you'll do a fan and they'll just break apart. It's not really that they're sticky, it's just that they get inconsistent with each other, if you know what I mean. So you don't get cards sticking to other cards. That's not really what happens. You can see they spread pretty well, right, consistently, but you'll get some separations where it's just a little slicker against other cards than from other ones. So I don't know really what you do about that. If you have any ideas about what to do about that, again, put that in the comment section. But plastic, 100% plastic playing cards, I do find that as you handle them, they do get a little bit of discrepancy in the way they spread, and paper does not do that. The paper playing cards hold their spread much better. So if that matters to you, then it matters to you. Oh, one more thing. We talked about gimmicks. I don't use these much, but this comes back full circle to a conversation I was having earlier with you about the box designs. This is a cold case switching device. It's a shell. I'm not going to show you everything about it because I don't have the rights to cold case and I can't teach that on here. But it is a shell. It's not a full shell. It gives away a little bit of it. It's I guess what you call a three-sided shell. And it's got kind of all the features of a box on it. It's great for doing a deck switch. I have done this a few times in front of people. It's not the kind of magic that I do very much, but it is what I consider to be the best box-aided deck switch that there is on the market. Second to this would probably be the Blizzard or the deck shell, if you can find a plastic deck shell. This is not plastic, can be made to suit anything, but I have two of these. I have one that is in all black. And the reason why this is great is because it's perfect for switching out cards that are different back colors. Because it's an ambiguous face, this black bicycle. It could be a red deck or a blue deck. Any bicycle brand. It could even be some of these off-brand cards because it doesn't show the back design. So I found it's probably beneficial for a shell like this to use the black box design to make it, because you can really put anything in it and it can be justified. You don't really have to talk about it. You have to make mention of it. And you don't have to make a whole bunch of different gaffs. So anyway, deck shell, cold case, Gregory Wilson, really, really great switching device. Very free, easy to do, done in the hands. You don't have to do it on the deck. Really requires no misdirection whatsoever. They're looking right at it. It just requires fluidity and confidence, and there's nothing to see. You can get it on camera and nobody would know that a switch has happened. I stand behind it. It's better. It is the best box-aided deck switch that there is in the market, if that's your sort of thing. So highly recommend cold case Gregory Wilson. So I do have a couple of those that I use. So anyway, that's pretty much it. All things card magic, my collection. This is a good long video. This is a Merry Christmas to you, Happy New Year, if you're watching this. So over an hour and 3 minutes ish, hour, a couple minutes. So anyway, that's all I got for you today. So we made it through. I didn't have a huge coughing fit. I feel better already. So good luck with that. Happy magicking.